to help you figure out how to do surface area with a rectangular prism and how to draw the net. So here we have a rectangular prism, and when you see a rectangular prism, there's 6 sides. We're going to take this prism and draw a net by imagining the shape being unfolded and flattened out. When you look at this shape, you can see that there's color here, this representing the front and the back, the green representing the right and the left, and this kind of lavender representing the top and the bottom. To build a net, you're going to take the top, or a rectangle to represent the top. When you look at the top and you look at the picture, the top and the bottom are the same. And they are 8 units long and 4 units wide. So we're going to label our net with those dimensions. If you imagine going from the top to the front, you can bring another rectangle in to represent the front. This is the front, and this is the top. The yellow rectangle that represents the front is still 8 units. That's why they fit together. But the side of the yellow rectangle is the same as the side of the back rectangle. And that is this 5. Even though the picture doesn't put both 5s there, that's your job to start learning how to visualize. So if we go from the top to the front, the next thing that we would be connected to is the bottom. So as I'm pulling this apart, I'm hoping that you are able to kind of imagine this piecing together. So this would be the bottom. Let's shrink this up a little bit. And imagine going around this shape. We go from the top to the front, to the bottom, to the back. So if the top is 8 by 4, the bottom is also 8 by 4. And the front is 8 by 5. The back is also 8 by 5. Then there's the right side and the left side. So the right side is 5 by 4. So we could put that right side up here, or we could put it down here. And since it fits better down here, that's where I'm going to put it. So these are the flaps. So one place to put the flaps would be right here. But there's lots of different ways to do the flaps. Some of you might have thought that you want to put the flaps this way, but then they would have to fit on these, on the front and back. You could also put the flaps here. In other words, as long as your edges match up, if you put the flap like this, remember over here, the right side is 5 by 4. So here's the 5. This has to be 4, because this piece along the edge has to match up with this piece there. So that is one complete net of that rectangular prism. After you have the net, you can figure out the surface area. So I'm going to use this net, and I'm actually going to work just right within the picture. The smartboard's not working great today, but we'll do our best. So I'm going to do rectangle area right within the picture. So 8 times 4 is 32. So the area of that lavender rectangle is 32 square inches. Whoops. So the top and bottom, because it's the same shape, have the same area. The front is 8 times 5. So the area of the front is the same, as the area of the back, which is 40. And the right, 5 times 4, has an area of 20. And the left, 5 times 4, has an area of 20. So the total area is equal to 32 plus 40 plus 32 plus 40 plus the 2 20s. You might even think of that as 64 by adding the 32 and the 32, plus 80, adding the 40 and the 40. So some of you might just do some mental math and say that's the same as 64 plus 80 plus 20. And with a little more mental math, 80 and 20 make 100. So your final area is 164 square inches.